I'm outside reading The Unapologetic Guide to Black Mental Health. I done tried to make this video a few times, but these birds was chirping, these planes was flying, everything was getting on my nerves. So I'm outside reading and reflecting, right? And I'm reading The Unapologetic Guide to Black Mental Health. One of the topics that the author talks about is not wearing a mask for the people you love. Like, sometimes we get so used to this role of code switching and turning on and off your reality for the reality that you want people to see of you, and you get lost in the sauce and you forget to turn that off for people you love or people who really love you. And we hear that time and time again. We hear people saying that they feel like they weren't a good friend or they weren't a good mother or father, XYZ, because of, them not really just letting themselves be who they are. And when you do that, you create a barrier for other people not to fully understand you or love you how you should be loved. And then you get mad at them for not seeing you, even though you created this barrier. Now you tearing everything down and you self-sabotaging because nobody saw you, because you wouldn't tear down your own barrier. And I had to think about, like, the women that I grew up around. Like, I grew up in strength. Like, my mother just was very strong, but I used to see how people would take advantage of her, and she would be so forgiving at times with family and friends, because you try to hold the people you love closest to you in spite of them hurting you. And I saw that with my mom, so I naturally just assumed that's how you're supposed to do, with your friends and family who love you, but not with everybody else. But in doing so, those be the people who hurt you the worst, and will continue to do that unless you say something, or unless they choose to stop. And in friendships, I've always tried to be the strong friend. In relationships, I've always tried to be the strong woman. I've always just tried to be strong, but not even tried. It's just who I was naturally. But that was also a mask, because in me being so strong and seeing my friends or my family members going through some stuff, or being in situations and somebody else going through something, I'm always putting them first, because they need to be upheld, or they need to be loved, or they need to be, XYZ, while I'm just, walking around on E, but trying my best to hold this together. And I learned that I deserve better with that. And I'm also learning that everybody is living in this world trying to figure themselves out, but you don't have to be the punching bag for them. You don't have to deal with that. I've dealt with the side comments. I've dealt with the jokes. I've dealt with all that little slick shit. And I chose boundaries and to release that, because I don't need to be anything for anybody else that I cannot be for myself first. And so when I started to learn how to see myself and be there for myself and love on myself, and realize that I need somebody to be strong for me too, so I can be vulnerable and weak and just release all my stuff, that's when I started to just have more clarity for myself and how I wanted my relationships and friendships to look like. With it, we all need to grow and we all need to heal, but we also need to take off that mask and allow people to be there for us and see us to fully understand who we are, so that they can be for us who we need them to be, as a friend, as a mother, as a father, as a husband, as a wife, whatever it is. Like, you gotta release that mask and stop hiding from people who really love you and who are there for you and who really just want to see you be happy. But yeah, get the book out. It's real good.